hot flushes, night sweats, irritability, confusion, forgetfulness, bone loss, belly fat. 50% of the world's population does or will suffer from that combination of symptoms at some point. Welcome to Shape Fixer. I am Andrew Tunstall. I'm a nutritionist, and I'm going to speak to you today about menopause. What it is, how it works, what to do, what not to do, and what to eat and what not to eat to help you manage your way through this process. Now, what it is it's not an event, it's a process. It's a gradual tailing off of ovarian function spread over maybe a couple of years and sets in anywhere between the age of 45 and 55. And with that reduction in ovarian function comes a drop in hormone production, particularly estrogen. Your adrenal glands can produce some estrogen, so there's a requirement on them to produce more than they would normally. They become hyperactive and they produce more cortisol, which is your stress hormone, hence the mood swings and the irritability. At the same time, you start experiencing muscle loss, and the protein from the muscles that are breaking down gets converted to glucose, which boosts your insulin level and leads to weight gain, particularly around the belly. Now, you can, of course, medicate for all these symptoms, as you can for most symptoms for just about anything. And I'm not suggesting you shouldn't. All I'm going to be saying today is that there are other ways to tackle this, and in consultation with your medical professional, possibly some combination. But if you can manage with lifestyle and nutrition, that's better, because medication costs money, medications have side effects, and there's the mental health issues around medicating for something like this, which is a perfectly natural process, because you may be giving yourself the message that you're ill, that you're sick, that something's wrong, and really it's actually all perfectly natural. So, lifestyle and food are the ways we're going to be tackling this. First of all, you need a purpose. It's usually coming at a time of life where lots of other things are changing as well. Your family situation may be changing, your job situation may be changing. So if your sense of purpose has always been your job, and maybe you're getting to the end of your career or you're not working, or your sense of purpose has been family and you're now at the age where your kids have left home, then you need to find another purpose, and that could be working at a charity. Maybe you need a hobby, but you need something to focus on to give your life meaning, to fill the gap that has now appeared. You need to make sure you still have a routine, and a routine means waking up at a particular time, planning your day, having things scheduled. And a very important thing to build into your routine, because it's so healthy, is intermittent fasting, which we've discussed before. And intermittent fasting means going maybe 16 hours a day without eating. So from dinner the night before, let's say you had dinner at 8, then you go until 12 the next day without eating. And if you can do that for 16 hours, it enhances your hormone production and helps your body produce the hormones that you may be lacking now that you're going through the menopause. So it makes intermittent fasting, which is really good for anybody, it makes it that much more important for you now at this stage of your life. Of course, it's very difficult to do if you're not on a low carbohydrate, high fat diet. So I'm going to put a link in the description below to a video that we did previously on the issue of carbohydrates and why you need to be cutting them down. Exercise is very important. This, again, all through your life, but particularly now. And exercise can be physical exercise and it can be mental exercise. Physical exercises that are going to be very good for you are slow, gentle, aerobic or endurance type exercises like walking or jogging if you're up to it, or swimming, and getting out in the sun. Being out in the sun helps you produce vitamin D, which is again very, very important for the production of many of your hormones. And there's a link in the description below to a video I did about the sun and your happiness, because that is a hormone related issue. And mental exercise, I mean things like yoga, breathing exercises, any kind of relaxing mindfulness, practicing music, a musical instrument, some art, maybe you're a sculptor, maybe you're a painter, and these will help you relax and lower your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which is causing you so many problems. But the most important avenue is nutrition. So we need to avoid processed foods that have had most of the goodness taken out of them anyway and are full of additives that have horrible side effects. Most processed foods are very high in sugars or carbohydrates, which is the same thing, and you don't want those. You want to cut them down for inflammation purposes, for weight loss purposes, and just for general health purposes. Avoid spicy foods, avoid caffeine, avoid alcohol, and do not smoke cigarettes. Those things will make all your metabolism dysfunctional and will sabotage your hormone production. You need to eat more oil and fat, and that is particularly because you're cutting down on the carbohydrates, and the oil and the fat will give you energy. Remember that sugars make you fat, fat makes you thin. Okay, so oils and fats are you're not going to put on weight. You're actually going to lose weight so long as you're not eating carbohydrates. It's very important to maintain your gut health. Your microbiome, the bacteria that live in your stomach, in your intestine, are very important, again, for hormone production because they are the great facilitators of that process. And so you need probiotics, which is food that has bacteria in it, like yogurt and raw cheese and fermented foods. And you need prebiotics, which is the food for them. And that usually means food that is high in fiber. You want to have high fiber food that is not high in carbohydrates. So wholemeal bread is a very bad example. Good examples are cruciferous vegetables. I will list them in the video description down below. Cruciferous vegetables are very high in fiber, but they're also very high in magnesium and potassium and other vital minerals that you're going to need. And I'm going to touch on magnesium again in a second. Supplements. You can take probiotic supplements if you're not able to get enough probiotics from your food. A vitamin D supplement if you are not able to get enough sunlight. It must be vitamin D3. If you make sure you get your vitamin D for the production of hormones, but also because you are going to tend towards osteoporosis during menopause. And very often osteoporosis is not a lack of calcium. It's a lack of the ability to move the calcium into the bones. So taking a calcium supplement is not necessarily going to help by itself. You need vitamin D in your body to transport that calcium into the bones. Otherwise, you'll have a buildup of calcium in your soft tissues and you'll have more side effects from that, and you will still have osteoporosis. So vitamin D is very, very important. You need to take magnesium, which I mentioned was in the cruciferous and green leafy vegetables, and a magnesium will help with brain clarity and memory retention. And then a vitamin E supplement is very good to help combat the night sweats and the hot flushes. Okay, so if you eat properly and you avoid inflammatory foods and you avoid carbohydrates and you take the right supplements and you manage your daily routine, you will cope with this journey through menopause much better. Again, look at the video description below. There are examples of specific foods to eat and foods to avoid, and I'm going to link this video to video on your microbiome if you want to understand better how that works, and our video to sunlight and vitamin D, which is vital when you're going through the menopause. And good luck on this journey. It's not something you asked for, but it is something you can manage. Thank you for watching. Click a like, share this video, and please subscribe to our channel.